Formula One, a sport that spans hearts, minds and nations, where the 20 best drivers in the world come together to take on some of the world's most historic circuits. And that legacy continues today. The 2021 championship was thrilling from start to finish, and 2022 is set to be even better. New regulations will usher in an age of pioneering changes. New driving talent alongside returning champions will be dueling it out to the bitter end. The pressure will be on the team principals in the upcoming season as they manage their drivers, their cars, and the whole team to push to victory. This is not a challenge for the faint-hearted. This is Formula One. Mercedes returned to F1 in 2010, and since 2014 they've won the Constructors' Championships back-to-back every year. In 2021 they took home the Constructors' Championship once more, although they narrowly missed out on the Drivers' Championship, coming in second. Heading into 2022, Mercedes will insist on dominating the competition. Nothing less than the fastest car and the most wins will give the Silver Arrows the outcome they want to see at the end of this new season and beyond. The Red Bull team burst onto the F1 scene in 2005, and ever since 2009, they've been one of the top 3 teams in the championship. Last season ended brilliantly for them. Max Verstappen won the prestigious Drivers' Championship, and Red Bull are flying high once more. Heading into 2022 under the right leadership, Red Bull could find themselves heading up the pack once more. They'll certainly be hoping to end the season with not 1 but 2 championship trophies for their cabinet back home in Milton Keynes. Ferrari have entered Formula One every year since the World Championship began back in 1950. They still hold the most championship titles of any team. The team had a solid season in 2021, securing 3rd place in the Constructors' Championship. Ferrari are very much in it to win it. With strong leadership over the 2022 season and beyond, expect to see them fighting for those podium places. If all goes well, they'll be aiming for that top spot as the seasons progress. Mclaren are a cornerstone of F1, having been part of the sport since 1966 and winning numerous drivers and constructors' championships over the years. Last season they came a respectable 4th overall, with Daniel Ricciardo and Lando Norris securing the only 1-2 finish of the season. The talented driver pairing of Ricciardo and Norris returns for McLaren this season, and one thing is certain, they're not going to settle until they're reigning champions once more. Alpine was a new name in 2021, bringing F1 drivers Fernando Alonso and Esteban Ocon back into the spotlight. Alpine finished the 2021 season in 5th place in the Constructors' standings, with their first race win secured by Ocon at the Hungarian Grand Prix. 2022 will be a formative season for Alpine as they return with the tried and trusted driver pairing of Alonso and Ocon. In a few years' time, with the right leadership, they could well become championship contenders. AlphaTauri have been a name in Formula One since 2020. They're renowned for being the proving ground for talented new F1 drivers. Last season they ended in 6th overall. Driver Pierre Gasly also earned them an impressive podium finish in Baku. Heading into 2022, the team continued to develop their current driver pairing of Yuki Tsunoda and Gasly. They'll want to continue scoring regular points and begin working their way past the other midfield contenders. 2021 was Aston Martin's first full season in Formula One. They roared onto the scene with Sebastian Vettel, the legendary 4-time world champion, in one of those coveted driving seats. Despite some teething problems in testing, Aston Martin gave a solid showing and finished the season in 7th place overall. Heading into 2022 with Lance Stroll and Vettel behind the wheel, Aston Martin have the potential to become regular podium contenders. But it's going to take strong leadership and shrewd investment to get them there. Williams is a legendary name in F1, winning 9 Constructors' Championships in their heyday. The Williams family sold the team in 2020, and the 2021 season saw them fighting well from start to end. They finished 8th overall, thanks to some incredible performances by George Russell in his last year as a Williams driver. In 2022, Williams have Nicholas Latifi and new signing Alex Albon, returning to F1 after a year away to make up their driver team. The pressure is on for them to up their performance this season and push their way back towards those midfield places. Alfa Romeo boast an impressive Formula One history, dating right back to 1950 when they won the very first Drivers' World Championship. However, 2021 saw them finish in 9th overall, with no podium finishes to their name. The team usher in 2022 with a brand new driver lineup. They're joined by F1's first ever Chinese race driver Zhou, as well as veteran Valtteri Bottas, as they build their way back to becoming regular point scorers. Haas joined F1 back in 2016, and they've had a good start to their team career, peaking at 5th place in 2018. Last season they finished 10th, but they spent a lot of time and focus on designing their car for 2022 and strategizing for the future. Going into the 2022 season, Haas hope to have a strong car design under their belts. Coupled with hungry drivers, an ambitious team, and strong leadership, they'll be pushing their performance and fighting their way back to the midfield.
Hi there, nice to meet you. I'm Audrey Mensah, one of the team's senior engineers. Welcome to the team. It's great to have you on board. We have as our new team principal, you're responsible for a lot of aspects of the team. Everything from managing our team's growth, overseeing our finances, and deciding on race day strategies will be in. You can keep an eye on most things from... First up, an overview of the board. They're the ones who set the expectations for the team. If they're confident in your leadership, you'll be fine. If they lose confidence in you, however, they might look to replace you. The board sets season objectives for the team. Okay then, let's look ahead to the race weekend. We need to start preparing for the next Grand Prix, which will be the first of the season. As it's your first day though, there's nothing urgent for you to address. Feel free to explore more, or you can select continue and sign off for the day. Once you do, time will pass, but don't worry about missing anything. You'll automatically sign back in if an important event comes up. It's no longer your first day. We'll have you on top of things in no time. You'll continue moving through days this way until it's time for the race, which you can see in the upcoming events list. It's good to get in the habit of regularly checking that list. Let's take a look at what needs doing today. Looks like you've received a budget approval request. Most of the team's budget is decided by the board at the start of the season, plus whatever we get from last season's prize money and any extra sponsorship revenue we earn. This is your calendar for the month. This is where you'll carry out your final preparations for the next race. We'll come back here later. Here, you can delve deeper into team finances and see our balance, as well as understanding information on income and rewards, and the enforced spending caps we have to abide by. I reckon that's a good decision. It should keep the team in high spirits anyway. Now that's dealt with, we can focus on our first Grand Prix of the season. There's always some final work to do before we can set off. Check your inbox for the race prep report on this weekend's circuit. Okay, you want to get started with a design project. These are car parts we can design and manufacture in-house. Each car part impacts different areas of the car's performance, but certain car parts will have a greater impact than others. You can also view our car performance by rank on grid. This is a useful comparison tool and lets you see how our performance compares to that of all the other cars on the grid. Take a look over the different car parts. The highlights indicate which performance areas they impact the most. Pick one that impacts the ratings you want to improve. The team's expertise in making new car parts improves with experience. So each testing is also an important step in design. If you assign some testing time to this design now, you can direct the engineering team to focus on specific areas of performance. Over the season, we'll understand more about our car's performance. As a final step before the team gets started on this design project, you need to decide how many engineers you want working on it. You should also decide what approach they should take. Bear in mind, these decisions will have an impact. Nice work. That's the project started. If you check your calendar, you'll see the team have given you a delivery date for the design. Continually designing new car parts is imperative to improving our... One of my favourite places. This is where the car builds happen, and where we develop and store our car part. Okay, you have all the information you should need. Let's head to race preparation to see if there's any remaining tasks for us to complete. This is one thing you'll always need to do before each race weekend, is setting our performance targets. These help us generate... Here we've got the performance targets for this coming weekend. If we meet these, we'll gain extra revenue. Looks like we've got incentives for both the qualifying session and the race. If we can reach those targets, we'll get an additional payout, and it won't cost the team anything if we don't meet them. You can also decide to add targets here and offer our Okay. If you want to offer a guarantee for this weekend and raise the team's potential rewards, now is your chance. That feels like something we can achieve without too much difficulty. The reward if we meet the guarantee is good, and the potential loss doesn't seem too bad either. Okay, we're done here. You've done everything needed, and the team can't wait to get started.
Welcome to the archipelago of Formula One. Bahrain might have a small land footprint, but it's showing its big spirit right now in the grandstands. Either way, it's time for another fantastic weekend of Grand Prix racing. The Bahrain International Circuit is a challenging track, and the cars routinely have to brake from high gear to low to take the narrow turns. With the need for downhill braking, the risk of locking up is one drivers will need to manage. It's all about focus and balance to get victory here. At this early stage in the season, there are still plenty of opportunities for things to change. In this sport, there simply are no guarantees. Okay then, let's get to it.
Great to see you again. Welcome to your first race weekend with the team. It's Friday, so we're kicking off with free practice 1 as usual. Over here is our race preparation. Rest assured the team have already prepared the cars for practice. When you're ready, we can continue to the practice session. During race week, as it's your first race weekend,
Our race weekend continues as we head into qualifying. There's very little time to relax because each and every driver will need to bring their A game to the track for qualifying. They'll need to push themselves to the limit if they're to be challenging for a strong grid position. You simply never know what you'll see come qualifying. Strap yourselves in. This is Formula One.
To help maximise our drivers' performance, the team have them work on 3 goals during practice: track acclimatisation, car parts knowledge, and setup confidence. If you manage the session yourself, you might get an even better performance from the drivers for the rest of the weekend. Right, time for qualifying. Our results here will determine where we start on the grid for Sunday's race. Qualifying takes place over 3... Same as practice, the team can handle... Our drivers need to be set in there. Keep a careful eye on time remaining. Right then, let's get...
Sessions should be starting now.
car is fitted with a number of onboard cameras, so you can see the action as it happens. You can also use the map view if you like. Remember, you're managing two... That's a decent time for a flying lap. Keep an eye on the stand-ins throughout the session, and try and keep the drivers out of the knockout zone. Right then, that qualifying run is done, so the driver will return to the pits now. I know everything happens so fast over a race weekend, but if you need to catch... Our driver is back in the pits. You need to reconfigure the car before we can send them back out. Let's... The team will make sure the run plan is updated to include refueling. So all you have to do is fit some fresh tyres. Here you can see all the tyre compounds available this weekend. When making any changes, just be sure you're considering both the condition and the compound of the selected tyre. We want maximum performance during qualifying, so let's use a fresh, soft compound tyre. Brilliant. The car's ready to head back out at your say-so. It's probably best to do at least one more run before the end of the round. The track will have more grip later in the round.
Is that a lockup?
Okay, I had a lockup.
Copy.
I think there's been a lockup. Let's have a look. Daniel Ricciardo involved here. And this, yes, there, that's the lockup.
Okay, Lando, that is the end of the session.
We're through to Q2. Great work. In Q2, the fastest 15 cars from Q1 battle it out for only 10 places in Q3. Now let's push even harder for a place in Q3. It's up to you whether you manage the rest of the qualifying rounds. If you want,
It's race day with the teams and drivers ready and raring to go.
McLaren did well during qualifying. They maximized their potential and are in a good position for the race today. We saw a reasonably good qualifying performance from Ferrari, and they certainly have a good chance to capitalize during the race. And we've got a clear night here beneath a starry sky. If the weather holds steady, we should be in for a spectacular race indeed.
And there's going to be a lot for the teams to handle. So will the drivers and their cars be able to cope with the pressure? Let's find out right here at the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Right then, time for the main event, the Bahrain Grand Prix. This is a great time for us to get some Each driver will need to make at least one pit stop to fit new tyres. On average, a pit stop will cost a driver about 25 seconds. So we need to think carefully. Let's set a tyre strategy for our drivers now. Every race weekend, the team will prepare some recommended strategies to choose from. Let's see what they suggest for this race. Okay, strategy A is a fast but risky option, relying on 2 soft stints and no hard compound at all. Strategy B is a well-balanced option, 2 soft stints and a nice long middle stint on a hard compound. Right, strategy C is a slower but safe option for this track. We'll tackle the final stint on a medium compound instead of a soft tyre. If you think a different approach could work, you can make changes to any of the team strategies or even create one from scratch. Going with strategy B? You should consider picking a different strategy for each driver. This gives us a chance. That's both drivers with a set strategy in place. Right, let's head back to the preparation area and...
We have clear weather tonight as we look at the drivers in their grid positions. And there's Lando Norris. They're starting in the bottom half of the grid today, so there's a lot of cars between them and the podium. And behind them, it's Ricciardo. With their starting position in the back 10, they'll have their work cut out for them. The race start is mere seconds away. Here we go with the Bahrain Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go.
Doing a good job so far.
Is that a new race position for Haas? Let's take a closer look. All eyes on Kevin Magnussen here. Gaining a position there. Oh, they make it look so easy. And that was a bitter blow for the team. And it may have really hurt their overall chances.
During the race, you can use the strategy view to check on each driver's strategy and adjust them. You can also use the... Managing pace will help you manage a car's tyre temperature. Keep an eye on...
Maximum pace. Contact. Need to push.
Roger.
Seems to have been a lock-up.
Push now. Okay, understood. Stay close. Yep. DRS enabled. DRS.
McLaren gain a position. Haas with an overtake. And McLaren with a great overtake.
Copy, you're doing a good job. Nice job, mate. Nice job. Just be careful with this tyre.
As the race progresses, remember to keep an eye on the planned strategy you put in place before the race. The strategy view will let you check your strategy, adjust it, or even change it entirely. The data view is also an important...
It's looking good.
Alpine just advanced. McLaren gain a position. With an overtake there. Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place. And McLaren with a great overtake.
Okay, our driver has just entered the pit window. The pit window encompasses the laps that cover the planned pit stops in your strategy. This means it's nearly time to call the planned pit stop. Unless you think there's a reason to pit immediately, I always recommend sticking to the strategy and... Right, let's talk tyres. During dry races, all cars need to use at least 2 different tyre compounds. If a car doesn't comply with this rule, it will be disqualified from the race. Ultimately, it's your decision on which tyre compounds we go for. Although I'd strongly recommend sticking to the starting strategy when possible. You can see the estimated lap lifetime for each tyre when you focus on them. Once you've decided which tyre to move to,
Okay, so we are boxed this lap.
Yeah, I confirm. Happy to box at the end. Good job.
McLaren gain a position. It's a spin. Sounds like someone's locked up. And McLaren with a great overtake. Someone's run wide. Alfa Romeo just moved up a place.
Yep, this is my pace.
That's a good overtake from Alpine. Alpine just advanced. Did somebody spin out there? McLaren gain a position.
Front tyres struggling a lot. Still okay with the struggling.
Okay, understood.
Can we change tyres?
Just be careful with this tyre.
Yeah, confirm.
A position gained for Alfa Romeo.
Quite low grip at the moment.
Copy, understood.
So I need to look after these tyres.
Daniel. So this is P10.
Box now, box now.
We'll box this lap.
Okay. I'll box this lap. Bandit pit lane.
Okay, understood.
That sounds like someone's gone wide there. I think someone's run wide.
Box this lap, box this lap.
I'm
100% pace now.
happy.
Maximum pace, Daniel, maximum pace.
Understood.
Was that a lock-up on the track? a lock-up. Is that a new race position for Haas?
This is the last lap. Nice job, mate. Nice job.
And Sainz crosses the line first. He's taken the win.
Lando, that is the checkered flag, so we are box this lap.
Did a wicket, I think.
And that's good enough work from Lando Norris this weekend. McLaren showed some good stuff here today, but they'll be building on that now to try and improve their results next time.
Yes, there's no doubt that they have what it takes. I can't wait to see which direction they go in for the next race.
After the race, they sit in 7th place in the constructor standings.
The teams now look ahead to the next round, where they'll duel it out in the sand dunes of Saudi Arabia.
The team's drivers gain experience over each race weekend, depending on their performance. With enough experience, your drivers will be able to improve their skills. That could have gone better. The board's confidence probably took a dip. You may want to check the board menu for more information. Still, that's the first race weekend done, and there will be plenty of time to improve.